Trout grilled in grape leaves. Great taste, and it won't stick to the grill grate. Red wine chicken with Cabernet barbecue sauce. Beer can chicken gets a college education. And wine marinated filet mignon. Beef meets vine with felicitous results. Today it's all about wines and vines. I'm Steven Raichlen, and from the beautiful Esplendor Resort in southern Arizona, it's time to grill. Reichlen's rule states that if something tastes good baked, fried, or sautéed, it probably tastes even better grilled. The inspiration for the trout grilled in grape leaves was a Georgian dish called kolhida. And I'm talking about the Republic of Georgia now, not the state in the southeast of the United States. Georgians love to grill. Georgia is a great wine growing region, so the idea of wrapping a food in a grape leaf was completely natural. The stuffing is pure Georgian, ground walnuts, coriander, dill, and lemon. I mean, you find that in a lot of Georgian dishes. A grape leaf is a leaf from a grapevine, and what they do is pickle the grape leaves in a saltwater solution. You can buy them canned, you can buy them in jars. They're available in most supermarkets. You see, I've placed 3 lengths of butcher string underneath the leaves. Now, let me show you the trout. These are 12-ounce brook trout. And what you want to do is season the bottom with salt, freshly ground black pepper, then open the cavity and season the inside of the trout with salt and pepper too. We'll lay it on the grape leaves. Then let me show you the filling. The filling starts with walnuts and fresh dill, coriander, chopped fresh garlic, lemon juice, and salt and pepper. And this combination of walnuts, dill, and coriander is very typical of Georgian cuisine. Now, grind these ingredients to a coarse paste in a food processor. By the way, I referred to this as coriander. Cilantro is nothing more than the leaf of the coriander plant. Then arrange another layer of grape leaves on top of the fish, tucking the bottom leaves underneath. Now, just double your butcher string over, loop through once, then once again to make that butcher slip knot, pull tight, and tie off the trout. We'll cook the trout in a fish basket. You can see it has hinged wire panels. Oil the fish basket to keep the grape leaves from sticking. What you do, brush each trout with oil and place it in the fish basket. Then to finish up, pull the top panel over the fish and affix the top and the bottom with this metal ring. So the fish is ready for grilling. We're going to grill the fish over charcoal, and to light the charcoal you want to use a chimney starter. Place a crumpled piece of newspaper or use a paraffin fire starter. Place it in the bottom, light it. Thanks to the vertical shape, the coals will light uniformly in about 20 minutes. Of course, you'll do the lighting in the grill. I have another chimney ready to roll there. So what you want to do is just take your coals and dump them in an even layer across the bottom of the grate. And because you're working with a grill basket, you don't even need a grill grate. You can simply take the fish and grill it directly over the coals, as you see here. This is a great dish to cook when you're camping. You could cook it right over a campfire. And what's gonna happen here is these salty, tangy grape leaves are actually gonna flavor the trout while protecting the delicate flesh from the raging heat of the coals. Cooking time is pretty quick. It's really about 4 to 6 minutes per side. And of course, if you don't want to hold the basket, you can always lay it on a grill grate. However, for me, the closer I can get to the fire, the better. How do you know the trout is done? The grape leaves are nicely browned, and if you're in doubt, you can actually make a little slit in the back. Just check the meat to make sure it's white, it's no longer opaque. Keep the flavoring simple, maybe a few lemon wedges. So let's see how we did. We can squeeze a little lemon juice over it, cut into it, and look, it's perfectly cooked in the center. That walnut, dill, and lemon stuffing for the trout is really interesting. You know, it's a way of making trout that we never think of. There is a venerable tradition of pairing red wine and chicken in France. In fact, one of the most famous dishes in the French repertoire is coq au vin, chicken marinated and cooked in red wine. So when I created this dish, I sort of think of it as coq au vin on a cannon. If you know this and you know this, you're probably familiar with beer can chicken. It's a guaranteed showstopper, and it's simply the best way I know to cook chicken. Well, here's what happens if a beer can chicken crosses the road into California's wine country. It will give you a whole new perspective on an American barbecue classic. First, the chicken. Start with a 4.5-pound roasting chicken and remove any pockets of fat that may be in the cavity. Next, the marinade. Start with 1 onion thinly sliced and add 2 cloves of garlic, thyme and bay leaf, extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, and dry red wine, like a Cabernet Sauvignon. Stir the ingredients together until the salt crystals are dissolved. Then pour the marinade over the chicken. And marinate it in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours, or as long as overnight. And here's one I marinated earlier. Note, you can do your marinating in a resealable plastic bag. Now, make a simple rub by combining equal parts kosher salt and herbe de Provence. That's a mixture of Provençal herbs, and the little purple things are lavender. This actually has a kind of a sweet floral flavor. And as always, I like to combine the ingredients for the rub with my fingers and break up any lumps. Okay, now the cool part. In traditional beer can chicken, you'd actually roast the bird on a beer can. And what we're going to do for our wine country chicken is fill a metal canister with red wine. And then you can put the lid on. Now, take out your beer can chicken. You want to drain out the marinade and drain the bird. And what you do is, holding the bird by the wings, you lower it onto the beer can. Be sure the bird stands evenly, and then simply fold the wingtips behind the back. And if you have one, you can place the bird on its beer can in a little roasting rack. Now brush the outside of the bird with extra virgin olive oil. This will help crisp the skin. That's a pretty cool color, huh? And season the bird on the outside with your herbe de Provence mixture. let me show you how to set up the grill. This is a classic indirect grilling setup. You can see the coals in the side baskets or raked to the periphery of the grill, drip pan in the center. And what you want to do is grab your wine country chicken, place it on the grill over the drip pan, and then be sure that the legs are pulled out. All you need to do now is take some oak chunks that have been soaked in water or red wine and place a few chunks on each mound of coals. This will generate the wood smoke to flavor your wine country chicken. Now place the lid on the grill with the vent holes in between the two mounds of coals. Adjust the vents so they're wide open. You want to roast the bird at about 350 to 375 degrees. Cooking time for a chicken this size, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Meanwhile, let me show you how to make the red wine barbecue sauce. The first thing I did is melt the butter. Now add finely chopped bacon and finely chopped shallots, finely chopped garlic, and shiitake or your favorite mushrooms. Cook these ingredients until fragrant and golden brown. Takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Next, add a couple of tablespoons of honey and brown sugar, so that'll add a touch of sweetness. Then liquid smoke, which is a perfectly natural ingredient, salt and freshly ground black pepper, then ketchup or tomato sauce if you'd like a wine sauce that's a little less sweet. Finally, red wine like Cabernet Sauvignon or Merlot. Simmer the sauce until thick and syrupy, stirring from time to time. It's been about 45 minutes and you want to check on your chicken. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And if it starts to brown too much at the top, remember heat rises. You can just cover it with what I call an aluminum foil pashmina. And we'll continue cooking the chicken another 20 to 30 minutes. It's been an hour and a quarter, and our wine can chicken looks perfect. But you always want to check with an instant read meat thermometer. Insert it into the deepest part of the thigh, not touching the bone. You're looking for 165 degrees. Okay, so all we need to do is lift the beer can chicken when it's racked off that drip pan, and you can serve it right on the platter. Let's see how we did. I'll just carve it right off the can. And look how juicy that bird is. That's thanks to the wine can. Let's take a spoonful of our red wine barbecue sauce. That is so fantastic. The wine and smoke absolutely perfume the chicken, and you get these sweet floral little bursts of lavender. So there you have it, beer can chicken with a college education. Every step of the wine-making process actually enters into the local grilling. For example, you might marinate meats in wine. You might stoke your fire with grapevine trimmings. When you go to serve a great steak, nothing can beat a great red wine. The idea of this dish was to really pump up the flavor by using a red wine and juniper marinade. Red wine gives beef an incredible depth of flavor, especially when you use a mild, lean cut like luxurious filet mignon. First, the good news about filet mignon. It's the absolute tenderest steak that comes from the steer. The not so good news is that it's extremely lean, so you need to find a way to put some fat in it to keep it from drying out on the grill. Well, the first technique is to wrap the filet mignon in bacon. You want to use a good, thick smokehouse-style bacon. Then tie the bacon in place with a piece of butcher string. You come over once, you come over twice, pull tightly, and snip it with a pair of kitchen shears. Okay, step number 2, make the marinade. The marinade starts with what the French would call a mirepoix. That's equal parts finely chopped onion or shallot, celery, and carrot. Then add a couple of bay leaves, a couple of sprigs of thyme, 2 cloves of smashed garlic, and a handful of juniper berries. Juniper berries have a wonderful piney flavor that may be familiar to you. Juniper is the active flavoring in gin. In fact, gin is named for juniper. Now all you need to do to finish the marinade is add about a half a bottle of dry red wine. I'm using Cabernet Sauvignon. And a generous splash of olive oil. Mix the ingredients with a wooden spoon and pour them over the beef. Marinate the steaks in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours or as long as overnight. The longer you marinate, the richer the wine flavor. With our grilled filet mignons, I thought I'd serve an onion mixed grill. 3 kinds of onions, fresh green onions, cipollini onions, and what I call onion lollipops. These are thick slices of white onion on bamboo skewers. What you want to do is generously brush the onions with extra virgin olive oil, and you don't want to stint on the quality of the oil. Then season the onions generously with coarse sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. Again, coarse sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. And while we're at it, back to the steaks. I've drained off the marinade and blotted the steaks dry. Brush the steaks on both sides with extra virgin olive oil and season with coarse salt and freshly ground black pepper. What this does is it helps give you a savory crust during grilling. And be sure to brush and season the other side as well. I've set up the grill for direct grilling, preheated it to screaming hot, and as always, we want to clean the grill grate with a stiff wire brush, then oil the grate either with a folded paper towel or a cotton oiling cloth, dipped in vegetable oil, and drawn across the bars of the grate. Let me put on the steaks. Steaks this thick will take about 6 minutes per side to cook. And now I'll put on the onions. And the cipollini are on a metal skewer so they can go in the back. This is an aluminum foil grill shield made by folding over a piece of heavy-duty aluminum foil. Just want to lay it on front. Then lay your onion lollipops on the foil. And the shield keeps the wood from burning. Likewise with these green onions, you can start the onions with the green part on the foil. That way the bulbs will cook, and then at the last minute you'll take the foil away and you can cook the greens. Cooking time for the onions about 3 to 4 minutes per side, and I'll close the grill lid to keep the heat in. That'll speed up the cooking for the filet mignons. After 2 minutes, give each steak a quarter turn. That will lay on the handsome crosshatch of grill marks and push the meat into the grill. It's almost a process like branding. Turn your onions. You're looking for a golden brown color on both sides. Close the grill and we'll continue grilling the steaks. And once the steaks are seared on one side, turn each over and sear the other side. Man, do these look great. When the onion lollipops are cooked, just pull them on the foil. That will keep them warm without burning. You can see the cipollini onions are grilled beautifully. So I'll pull them on the foil grilling shield. Ditto with our green onions. What you want to do is just keep rotating the filet mignons so you brown the bacon on all sides. Okay, so once you brown the bacon, let me just show you how to test for doneness. It's our old friend, the poke test. You poke the meat. If it's gently yielding, the meat is medium rare. Then take off the onions. And here are the filet mignons and grilled onions. I don't know about you, but this makes me really hungry. So then simply place the filet mignons on your platter. You always want to anoint beef with some sort of fat, either extra virgin olive oil, or in this case, you can rub the tops of the filet mignon with a pat of butter. So here are your red wine marinated filet mignons with your onion mixed grill. Let's see how we did. Filet mignon, an onion lollipop, and this is an onion marmalade. The recipe will be on our website. Check it out, it's cooked perfectly. The wine and juniper give the beef a whole new dimension. Wine has been part of the barbecue tradition for thousands of years. Next time, make it part of yours when you fire up the grill. So there you have it. Trout grilled in grape leaves, red wine chicken with Cabernet barbecue sauce, wine marinated filet mignon. See you next time. With extra virgin olive oil, Reichlen's real and wrapped and grilled in All right, this time's a charm. Very nice. Very, very nice. From the beautiful Esplendor Resort in southern Arizona, it's